Welcome everybody and welcome to Get Your Geek on Gaming Geek. We are here talking to you everything up geek related when it comes to video games. And we want to go over a lot of different things. You know, we've gone over video games, we've gone over hardware, we go over everything here because we talk about games, and that's all this podcast is gaming, and we're bringing it to you guys. And this week we have our producer of Talking Geek. We have my co-host's wife here, Kristen. How you doing, Kristen?
Hey guys, Kristen Haley here to maybe offer a little support there, and probably not, but I'll try.
I mean, yeah, she's happy not to have to deal with me for 3 weeks since we're all under quarantine right now. And
I'm so happy.
oh, thanks. You know, your husband's still not out of contract. He's still stuck with me. He still's got to deal with it.
That's okay, as long as it's not me.
So I wanted to talk to you guys about something today because I know we've talked about, like I said, about hardware. We've talked about video games with Victoria and a couple other people. But today I want to talk about your butt. We're all sitting on our butts because we're all stuck in quarantine right now. We're stuck at home. And I was thinking, what should you do while you're at home? Maybe we should look for gaming chairs. Gaming chairs are pretty much essential for any gamer, PC gamer, console gamer. We all sit in them because, well, that's our job. We're sitting here playing video games, streaming them, just enjoying them. And I thought, man, like now we're all home. We're all home under quarantine and shelters in place. So because of that, we're sitting on these chairs for 8 hours a day now, bare minimum, plus if you're gaming. So maybe we should see.
One?
You don't get a comfortable one. You're a producer. You don't get a chair. You're lucky you get a chair. So we want to know, do we think gaming chairs are essential, and should you be looking into buying them while you're stuck at home? You know, some people believe they are just as essential as your graphics card in your PC rig when you're a PC gamer. That should be the next thing you should really look at is like, hey, I should look at getting a chair once my PC's built. So Kristen's been looking at stuff. I've been looking at stuff. And first, I want to know, Kristen, do you think it's essential to have a gaming chair?
Well, I mean, I don't think it's necessarily essential to have a said gaming chair. Sorry if you guys hear that. That's my kid. Yay, shelter in place. Gaming chair, but to have an ergonomic chair, if you're going to be sitting for X amount of hours, that's over like 2 hours per day. Yeah, you should have a ergonomic chair.
Well,
But to necessarily have a gaming chair for it to be essentially a gaming chair, no, I don't think you have to have a gaming chair. But an ergonomic chair, if it's a gaming chair, hey, it's a gaming chair.
I mean, I'm glad you bring that up because the thing is with these gaming chairs, they are supposed to be ergonomic. They're supposed to help out with your lumbar support. They help out. Some of them even have little pillows for your head, support for the neck. They have the extra cushion for you. They actually have the 180 lean back, so you can actually stretch your back out all the way like that. And you actually almost take a nap in it, depending on what you're doing with them, I guess. So
I just found a really cute pink one too.
oh my gosh, she found a pink one, guys. This is what I deal with as my producer every week on Talking Geek, guys, which, by the way, you should go check that podcast out as well while we're here. So,
Shopping.
I look at, I look at a lot of things. So, there's a lot of sites out there. There's a lot of gaming chairs. I mean, over the last decade or so, we've gotten a huge expansion in gaming chairs. We got Secret Labs. We have GT Racing. We have Corsair has also gotten in there, Respawn. There's a lot of other ones out there I can't think of off the top of my head because, I mean, there's just tons and tons of companies that make these gaming chairs. And, they all have different things. Like you said, the ergonomic part, adjustable armrests, lumbar support, neck pillow. So you have all of that. And then, of course, they have weight limits. Some of them have a max weight of like 290, 220, 300.
Yep, you got to watch your weight limit. Yep.
Exactly. So we kind of I want to talk about the gaming chairs themselves. You may have a different chair, but the company I'm liking right now, and I hope you guys enjoy it, would be Secret Lab. Secret Lab offers 4 essential ones, the Secret Lab Throne, Omega, Titan, and Titan XL. And the reason I kind of mention all of them is because they all are almost the same. The last 3 are the same. The Omega, the Titan, and the Titan XL are almost all the exact same. But like Kristen said, you have to watch your weight. So what Secret Lab did is the smallest one, being the Throne, actually has a weight limit and a height restriction. So it kind of tells you like small, medium, large, and extra large, essentially. Whereas the Titan XL is your biggest one that has for the tallest people out there and probably weigh the heaviest because of your height. And probably because we just sit there all day and don't exercise when we should. But, go exercise. So
well, you should be exercising anyway, if you're sitting 8+ hours a day. I mean, a little walking, I'm not saying, extensive exercise, but a little walking is good for your back. I mean, your back's not meant to be sitting that long, and a little walking is good for it. It stretches it out and helps with that ergonometry.
I mean, yeah, my exercise is I pick up the bottle, I drink, and I put the bottle down, and I go back to my controller. And that's
Well, you
what
just
I
have
do.
problems, so.
I mean, I have tons of problems, but I also edit, so I'm sitting here all the time editing, and that's also why I wanted to bring up chairs, because now I'm stuck at home all the time. So right now, that's the company I go with, because for me, I'm 6 feet tall. So the Secret Labs Titan is the perfect height for me, because it's from 5'9" to 6'7", and the weight limit's less than 290. So I'm way under that weight limit, and I'm at the height part. So it's like, cool, I can actually sit in this comfortably, where someone who's a little bit shorter might want to go for the Omega one because it's from 5'3" to 5'11" at 240. So it all depends on where you want to go. So that's the company I kind of chose. You got GT Racer and you got Next right behind them as the ones I like. But you said you're looking for more ergonomic purposes. So out of these chairs, or all these companies, or any company, what chair have you looked at and thought, hey, this is a cool one. I think this would be good to sit at home for the next 20 years?
Well, and something that we didn't go over, I was actually just looking very, very last minute.
And this is what I deal with as a producer.
It's on Amazon, and it's called a Go Plus massage gaming chair. And it has a reclining backrest. Also, it has, I think it goes all the way back. So you can lay on it like as you would a bed, almost.
So, yeah, Secret Labs does that too.
It's not a bed, but...
Yeah, and that's the thing with a lot of these gaming chairs. They have the 180 layback. What that means is the back, you can pull all the way down to a 180, and you're pretty much, like she said, lying on a bed. So a lot of these gaming chairs also do that 180 layback.
Yeah, and some of the things I can foresee happening is gamers maybe getting into playing games in different positions because our backs aren't going to support us forever, and sitting in the way that we do currently sit. Ergonomics or no ergonomics, because ergonomics aren't going to do everything for you. You got to have the good posture, and let's just say it. Us gamers, we don't have the best of the posture. Posture's not our forte.
I do. Thanks.
At least it's not mine. I don't know about you.
Well, I mean, there's a whole other story there. So, so you're looking for that laid back to move around with it, which Secret Labs does do that, as well as Next and GT Racer. They all have the 180 lean back, I believe. Now, or actually, some of them go to 135, I think, degrees, which is like the Noble Chairs Hero. That one goes from 90 degrees, which is where your chair normally is, down to 135, so almost the 180. It's about 50 degrees off or so. So it's like you can almost get there. But the cool thing is, with a lot of these chairs, at least the gaming ones I've noticed, and maybe you've noticed it with just regular ergonomic ones, they are coming with the lumbar support. They are coming with the extra cushion.
Right.
Some of them, depending on which company you go with, I believe it was not GT Racer. Maybe it was GT Racer. They actually have the cooling foam or the cooling gel on the pillow part. So you have like the headrest part, and it's just like, it's nice and cool right here.
That's not something I would ever need. I don't get hot like that.
See, and I'm burning up all the time.
That's for people that are severely like hot all the time. That's not me. You know me. I have that like low iron, and I'm like an old grandma covered up with 20 blankets at a time, and I'm like, guys,
just
sit
in front of two or three monitors, and that'll warm you right up. Hey, as gamers, that's what we're doing when we stream.
I have a space heater at my feet. Guys, I'm still cold.
See, and a lot of us gamers, the reason I like that idea is because, if you're streaming, you have usually 2 or 3 monitors set up. You have your PC, your Xbox, whatever you're using, your amps, your mixer, whatever. So there's a lot of heat coming out in front of you. So having that like little cool spot to lay on, that'd be so nice. But, the other side of all of this, though, is how pricey all these chairs can be. I believe one of the ones you showed me was like, what, $1,200 or so?
Yeah, there's a couple of chairs there. One that I saw was a Herman Miller M-Body chair. It is $1,495. Of course, not on sale. But there's also one that we saw when we were looking at chairs that was $1,049. and
Ooh.
that's just a little over the top for me. My maximum that I would ever spend on a chair, I feel like would be around $500. Of course, we're talking about our body here and our backs and the cost of ergonomics and posture support, and it's what you feel like you would spend on your body because it's supporting your body, and you know it's what you want to spend on your body. But
Exactly.
$500 would be my limit, and even then I'm kind of cringing, and I'm like, do I wanna do that?
As her
Just
husband
our
stares
payment
at her.
option.
As her husband stares at her,
So,
why did you just do
but
this?
yeah, say what?
I said, as your husband stares at you, wondering why the heck did you just spend $500 on a chair?
Right, right, and yeah, so $1,000, that's a little steep, I would think, for just a stinking chair, gaming or not gaming. I don't really care. I mean, I love gaming, but to slap gaming on a chair doesn't mean it's a gaming chair. It doesn't really have a definition of gaming or not gaming.
Yeah.
If I think of gaming, I'm thinking of a game. I'm not thinking of a stupid chair, you know?
Well, and like you said, though, we have to take care of our bodies because this is essentially a lot of people's jobs, and now that we kind of taking the gaming aspect out of it, now a lot of people are working from home and they're having to sit here for anywhere from 8 to 10 hours just to do some extra work to help out. Anyone in call centers usually are sent home now, and other jobs that they don't have to be out and about, they've been routing to home. Some teachers are doing the homeschooling thing now. So, taking the gaming
Right.
aspect, maybe this is an investment now for these people who knows how long we're going to be in quarantine. Is it going to be a month? Is it a month and a half, 2 months? So that's the other aspect of it, is like, how long do I need this chair? So maybe like Kristen said, you're right, you don't need to spend $500 $1,000 on this chair because you're only going to be home for the next 2 or 3 weeks, and you're like, oh well, I'm not a gamer, I'm not a huge gamer, I don't want to sit in front of my computer or my console for 3 or 4 or 5 hours. So maybe these
Right.
aren't for you. Maybe you should just get like a regular computer chair that has a little nice ergonomic back for you to support you. That's $70 $80. Me, when I'm looking at these, I kind of agree with you. This, once it hits that over 500 range, I'm kind of out. I'm like, no, this is a little too
Right.
much. So like right now,
And it's like you're saying, it's about how often you sit in it too, because the more you sit in a certain particular spot, it wears and tears on those spots. So if I'm sitting more on my left butt cheek, well, guess what? There's going to be more wear and tear on the left side than there is on the right side.
exactly.
And I don't want to spend an extra $500 for the left side just because my right side didn't have its way, So it's just really what you want to spend and how often you want to spend it.
Exactly. I mean, these chairs are built to last for a while. Most of the gamers I know use them for a few years before they have to buy a new one. And like you said, it's usually because the cushions are going out, the cat scratched it up, something happened. They usually end up having to switch it out. But
Your cat.
my cat tears up everything. That's why I haven't bought one yet right now, because I need to like start clipping her nails again. She lets me, so I just need to get back into doing that. But
Well, you're lucky she lets you. Most cats don't let anybody cut their nails.
you just got to get them used to it. So if you, as a cat owner, start playing with their paws when they're young, because then they don't mind you touching them, and then when they get older, they don't mind you clipping them. Tip from
I
the
do want to
Gaming Geek.
mention something about those Secret Lab chairs. They do
Yeah.
come with I wouldn't know what to call it. It's not character designs, but they do have like Game of Thrones designs, like
Oh,
House
you mean like
Stark, House
licensing
Targaryen,
designs?
and House Lannister designs.
Yeah. So
That's something that I liked.
yeah. So what she's talking about, guys, is they have like licensing deals. So they actually at one point even had a Birds of Prey Harley Quinn looking one, where it was all white and
Yeah, I
on the
wouldn't like
back
that one.
was the black lipstick. Well, you're not a Harley Quinn fan.
Yeah,
The black
no, I'm
lipstick.
not.
And I think on the Secret Labs, it had like little hearts written over it, like she graffitied it. So that was a cool looking one. But yeah, you're right. They do have licensing deals. So I believe they have, like right now, one you would probably be interested in, this Dark Knight one, because I know you're a big Batman fan. So they actually,
Yep.
on that one, the emblem, which is, so the way the chair's set up, you have your normal chair, it has a tall back for you. About midway up into your shoulder blades is the Batman logo. So that way you actually can have the bat on there. They also have Dota 2, like you said, House of Stark, Overwatch. So they have these licensing deals. Oh, I like the Lannister chair, though, and I wasn't a big fan of Game of Thrones, but that red is beautiful.
But Jamie Lannister is like one of the best characters ever.
I will say the unpopular opinion of I didn't care for Game of Thrones too much. Once they killed off
Whatever.
Manu Bennett's character, I didn't care anymore for it. He was my favorite character. So once he died, I was like, oh well, I don't
Back to
care.
back to gaming chairs.
But I am glad you did say that, because that goes into the segue of this. So somebody like I'm going to talk a lot about Secret Labs, guys, because I really do like them. I think they have some good ones. But I'll go to like Next or GT Racer after this. But another thing with those, the gaming chairs from Secret Labs, they actually have 3 options. They have a Prime 2.0 PU leather. So it's actually supposed to be a little more comfortable than their original leather that they had. And they actually have a soft weave fabric. So if you don't want that leather feel, you don't want to get any stickiness or whatever, they actually have the soft weave fabric. It's a little bit more, but it looks a little bit nicer to me. And that soft weave kind of feels like you're sitting on like more of a bed, I guess you could say, because it's like a yarn that's kind of like, I guess, like stitched together is the best way to put it. So, again, like you said, there's a lot of different things that Secret Labs allows you to customize and do. So to me, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
If
Sorry.
you want to get in and be able to customize something, that's your best bet. Is to go with that company.
Yeah, I was noticing that. Like, I kind of noticed that they did a lot of customizing with theirs, so I did like that. Another one that I did like that caught my attention is Vertigear. Vertigear has a lot of different things, though. They do, I believe, chairs, headsets, mics. They kind of do a little of everything. But they were the ones that I believe, let me just double check, had the gel for the pillow. So, like, that's kind of cool. Now, they're a little less customizable with the color schemes on it. Like, it's just kind of like your typical red, blue, green, pink, purple, which is really cool if you just want something basic at about the same price. But they have a
heavier weight capacity, too.
Yes,
so
they hold 330
pounds.
Sort of
compensation.
Yes, you are correct. These ones hold about 330 pounds versus the highest one on the Titan from Secret Labs is 290, unless you spend the extra money and go for the Titan XL, which can hold the heavier weight. So it just depends, do you want to stick with Secret Labs and go up to the next level? Because like their XL one is about the same price, I think, because let's see, Secret Labs. So their XL one is almost $500. So like kind of teetering on what you were saying. You don't want to spend more than $500. Where the Vertigears, they think they start off at $460 is their price range.
But if you think it's worth it for your lumbar support, and apparently they have fantastic neck support, and it is supposed to correct the neck issues that you get from computers.
And which was that one? The Vertigear you're saying, or the Secret Labs?
The Vertigear.
Ooh.
The Vertigear. But if you're willing to spend that money, it would be worth it if you're wanting to correct that.
Exactly. And for me, because I do have a bad back, so it's like, ooh, I kind of want that extra support on my neck and my back too. So that was my second one. So like, Vertigear was kind of my second one. I really didn't care too much for GT Racer, which is an older one that's been around for quite a while. But when I looked at their chairs, I don't know, something about them, I just didn't care for them anymore. But they're on the lower end. They're about 150. Yeah. So if you want, like, I guess an entry one, you could say, I mean, that might be a decent one to get.
Well, don't look at me, sir. I have an Office Depot chair under my butt right now. So
I mean, I'm sitting at a chair that belongs at a table, so I got nothing there. And that's why I'm looking at these as well, guys. And this is
it was the affordable option at the time at $170.
Well, see, look, but then at $150, you could have bought the GT Racing gaming chair. So
I could have, but at that time, I didn't have the advice or the knowledge of these other chairs that I do now.
We're here for. That's what we're doing. We're letting people know about it. So GT Racer.
But I'm up for a gaming chair, so we might go shopping later.
You gotta take your husband out there and tell him, hey, honey, I need this $500 chair, and he's gonna look at you saying, really? What did Aaron say now? And I'm gonna be like, I didn't do it. It wasn't right. So look at like the GT. What's up?
He'll survive.
Yeah, he will. He says he does, at least. I don't know. I'm worried for him. So the GT Racer ones, they are considered more ergonomic office chairs, they call them. They really don't add gaming to like the end. It's kind of funny because the way they like push these ones. It's like it's a racing seat, height adjustment, pillows, recliner, swivel rocker, tilt for esports, computer, and gaming. I'm like, well, you just started off as an ergonomic office chair though, but okay, I can see that. And so they have just a few different colors for their basic one. Like I said, it's about $150 right now if you go like to Newegg. So they're on sale and they're cheap. So you can look at those. They have the same thing: the head, the lumbar support, the ergonomic metal frame. So what they mean by that is it's a little bit wider, so it kind of has these almost like fins that come up to kind of help hold and like hold you in place, kind of like how Kristen said, to kind of help fix that posture part. And this again, they also come with the lumbar support for the pillow, and they come with the little head one. Which the other thing is too with the head one, I also don't know how much I would use it if it doesn't have that cooling gel. I don't know. I don't know
I feel
how
like
I feel
that
about
pillow would bother me.
it. I mean, right? It's like, am I gonna sleep sitting up? What am I gonna do with this little pillow up here? Which is again, where I come back to Secret Lab didn't really have that pillow on top, so I'm like, I don't need that pillow.
And by the way, people, don't worry about it. These pillows are totally removable. So if you think they'll bother you, just take them off.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, if you look at the GT Racer one, you can see the straps really easy because they go up and down. So yeah, you can easily take those off. I've sat in their chairs. They are very, very comfortable. So I'm not going to deny GT Racer. But after seeing some of these other ones, I'm a little more inclined to these other ones now. But again, it depends. If you're going to be at home for a month or so and that's it, this might not be a bad investment for $150 because this is going to get used 40 hours a week at least for the next month, and then a few hours here and there. May not be a bad investment.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is kind of what we've gone over. There's a lot where they're going nowadays, though. Now, some of these chairs are going to more of a mesh background. I don't know if you were noticing, like some of these newer ones that show up on a lot of lists.
That mesh background.
Oh, I hate it. I feel like I'm going to tear through that by accident. Like my zipper will get.
I don't feel like it's stable.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's stable, otherwise they wouldn't be selling it. But obviously it's stable to some degree, otherwise they wouldn't be selling it, rather. But I don't prefer it. I feel like if I had something sharp and I accidentally tripped or fell, it would just rip right through it.
That's what I'm saying. Like I get behind my chair and I push it in. If I like I push it too much with my hip and it's like, oh, my zipper's caught. Oh, I just shredded the mesh. Crud.
What if your pocket knife was randomly open for no reason?
Random.
And then just
random thing too. I've seen something like that
would ever happen, but whatever.
No, so funny story. I have seen that happen. A buddy had his pocket knife. I have that little clip part. He had it facing outward, and the knife was in his pocket. And he was talking, and he was leaning against his car. And then when he sat up, he scraped the side of his car with that little clip right there. I was like, dude, you just did 4 inches of damage to your car with your little clip on your pocket knife. So I can only imagine what it would do to these mesh chairs if he was sitting in it and like you said, stood up, maybe hit it with his hip or caught. It's like it's gonna tear through that mesh fabric.
That kind of sucks.
It does, and that's the other thing too. So everyone's in this game. Let's face it, everybody's trying to do these gaming chairs now. And some of them are freaking hilarious. I don't know if you saw, they have this one called the Big Joe Dorm Chair, which they consider it a gaming chair. It's just like this big, ugly, black chair with styrofoam, it looks like, in it. And they're trying to claim it as a gaming chair. And I'm like, this isn't okay. But for $50, I mean, I guess why not? Respawn has this weird looking one too that's, I don't know how to explain it. It looks like a recliner's chair on the front. And I don't know. It has a cup holder. I mean, it looks interesting, but it's one of those that you place it down and it sits in place. It doesn't move. Like some of these ones have wheels where you can move it around. I feel
like that cup holder would probably bother me.
Right? Like I look at it too and I'm like, that's going to upset me.
My child's car seat, not that has anything to do with gaming chairs, but it had a cup holder and she took it off and threw it out the window because it bothered her.
I hate this thing. Rah.
I feel like I would do the same thing. I'd be like, get this away from me.
That'd be hilarious. I mean, yeah, I could see that. So yeah, I'll check Respawn out, guys, because they also have, they have a lot of cheaper ones. Respawn's another one. I don't know much on them. I know they've been around for a little bit. But yeah, they also, a lot of their chairs are under 200. So again, if you're listening to this, saying, okay, well, I'm stuck at home with my work, and now I'm just here more often. Again, if you know you're not going to be there long, these ones that are like under 200 might be your best bet, because again, you're not going to be using them every day, and after quarantine's over. So again, you're going to use them for maybe like a month, and then they're just going to be
gets
gone.
over. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh gosh, it's not going to be that bad. Oh my gosh. So
They just extended to April 30th.
they've CDC has been saying to do it for a while. So anyway, before I get into a political rant, which I've already done today earlier, this is my point being, guys, check out what you think these gaming chairs are going to be like, if they're something for you to invest in, or if it's something you shouldn't invest in. I know, Kristen, you've been looking at these. Do you have one in mind that you're going to show your husband and say like, hey, honey, I need this one?
Definitely one that has that massage function, because I'm all about massages, especially on my lower back, because I have a little bit of nerve damage back there. But if not, then I actually have a liking for Noble chairs, the Hero one. It has that black classy look. Going for it, black classy leather look.
Mm-hmm.
Not too much one for showy for a chair. I don't really care about gaming chairs or chairs, just as long as it supports my back. That's what I care about the most, because I too have back problems and posture problems, and it's really not something that's nice.
There you
painful.
Go.
So, and I like that one the best. It looks the nicest to me. So,
okay.
And it has lumbar support, has firm seats and backrest. They say it could be too firm for some, but I like firm. So I like firm mattresses. I like firm seats. It's ideal for larger frames. I got that booty, so that'll be for a larger framed booty. And they say it's quite pricey, but
Well, how much is the price on that one? You said?
I think they're $450. I think $439. Sorry.
Oof.
So it's under my 500. Under my 500 mark.
Until she tells her husband, then he's like, under 200 mark. So,
babe, I got under 500.
Right? It's like, is there a coupon somewhere? So like with me, guys, I think if you want a not low end, but a low priced one, I would go GT Racer. Their ergonomic office chair, they call it, like I said, which is their gaming chair, under 150 on Newegg as of this moment that the podcast is being recorded. And hopefully into the future you can find them about under 150. I have seen them hit specials like that before. So like price wise, I go for that chair because it's cheap. And again, I don't know if you guys are going to be home all this time, as we are. Maybe I don't know if you're more of a casual gamer, hardcore gamer, so that would be my call if I have to pick one. Now, as for what I would love to have, guys, this is my gaming chair. I would say the Secret Labs Titan. Like I said, you have a 290 weight limit. It fits up to 6 feet and 6'7". There you go. Sorry, 6'7", which I'm 6 feet tall. So like for my height, that's perfect. And I like that Secret Labs gives you that, like, hey, here's your weight, here's your height. This is where you kind of fall in, where some of them kind of don't go over that. So that's why I like Secret Labs Titan. The leather's really nice.
If I had the budget for the XL one, I would buy that so I could sit cross-legged in it.
See, I think I could probably still do that though in the Titan, but the Titan XL is a lot bigger. So like again, if you are looking at these, like Kristen said, if you have wider hips, for the girls out there, if you have a bigger booty, you guys want to have that wider seat to sit in. Us guys, we have our big beer guts. We gotta just kind of worry about how much weight can it hold. So I definitely would check them out though, guys, because those chairs look really comfortable. They sound great. And they are running specials right now since we are all at home. But the problem with those right now is they are on back order. So that kind of bites in that aspect of it all.
Right.
So, maybe getting that.
Game chairs are super popular.
Exactly.
On back order during quarantine.
Right. And that's the whole problem is everyone's buying all this stuff up. So I hope all of you guys enjoy this.
So are Logitech cameras, apparently.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I was looking at this morning.
Terrible. So, guys, on that note, we are ending it. And I know this is Avengers theme, but I do want to throw out there, guys, we do have other podcasts. We have the Comic Bot podcast that comes out every Thursdays. We have our news show, Talking Geek, that Kristen helps us with the production side of it all. We do have Sundays. We're going to try to start doing our streaming show. So on that note, guys, make sure you go to facebook.com/officialgygo to see where we upload a lot of our stuff. You can look for us up on any podcast out there, Google Play, Stitcher, TuneIn, iTunes, and you can go to youtube.com/officialgygo to check us all out. And again, thank you for being with me, Kristen, and having to put up with me for a little while for our show. And to all of you out there, what keeps you geeky, guys? And y'all have a great one.